Hi, this is the Change and Grow Wellness Show, the show for you, the busy professional who wants to live a healthier, happier life with increased energy and productivity. And I'm Jackie Grant, and I'm your host. And today we're really talking about something really interesting. So we have Eugenia, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wallstein?
Eugenia. Yeah, that's right.
Eugenia's from business psychologist to love coach. So welcome, Eugenia.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is the one thing the KS you up for love and relationships. So, Eugenia, tell us about your journey from business psychologist to love coach. I mean, those two different things, aren't they?
Yeah, I know. So I'm Eugenia. So I'm originally from Germany, but now living in Sydney, Australia. That's why I have this weird German Aussie accent, as you probably can tell. So, and since I was a teenager, I was just obsessed with psychology and the human behavior and just to grow into our best selves. And that's why I studied economics. No, just kidding. No one knows why I studied that, but then I just corrected my path and I did my master's degree in psychology and did NLP as well. And I just, yeah, it's because I just love it so much. And I think since I was born, I was kind of primed to be a relationship coach. That's how I see it, because my parents, they, had like a horrible marriage and horrible way of communication, just to put it like mildly. And I never had a role model where I could see what true love really is and how it looks like. And, so when I got into relationships, I did what most scary human beings do. They run away, right? Because what can F this relationship up is actually fear. And if you cannot handle your fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, you will just sabotage your relationship. You will sabotage yourself. And yeah, that's, that was like my whole life was around that. And then I got into another relationship with one of my ex-partners, and that was like also one of my lowest points in life, where we had like this relationship which was on and off, and I just didn't know what to do. And so it got to a point where it was super, super draining, like emotionally and health-wise. Like I got like eczema all over my body because I was just in this limbo land. Shall I stay or shall I leave? And so I was just searching for help, and I went to this amazing systemic coach, and he actually opened my eyes to, it's better to leave. But I stayed. Why did I stay? Because out of fear, I was afraid that, when I break up, I will end up alone. I will never find anyone else again. Then I was afraid that other people will judge me, that his family will judge me, that my friends will judge me. I was afraid that I make a wrong decision I will regret later in my life. I was afraid of all those things. So I stayed for so many years and just ended up like just feeling drained out of energy, feeling drained out of happiness and all those things. And so, that was kind of my journey. And then, what was the turning point was actually a sad turning point. At the same time, it's inspiring to me because my grandma, she got cancer, and she only had 6 months to live. And then she was like, okay, so now I'm going to leave your granddad. And I was shocked. I was like, wow, like on the one hand, I thought, wow, that's so brave at the age of 75, only a few months to live, and you just make like this huge commitment and decision and just move out. And on the other hand, it just opened my eyes to, fear should never stop you to do something you always wanted to do. Because in this case, she always wanted to do it because they were not together out of love, just because they were, they had 6 children. So, they just stayed together. But at the end, she was faced with death. And so it was like her decision, like, okay, so now or never, right? And I was like, okay, I have to get out of this relationship. And so, yeah, then I studied NLP and did all those things. And it just got visible to me that fear is just an emotion. We can get over it. You know, like fear will be there forever and we cannot do anything about it. We can just transform it and just see it from a different angle. And yeah, so usually magical things start to happen if you do it. So once I did it, it was actually amazing. You know, like just a few weeks later, I met like an amazing guy to whom I'm now married. And this relationship is so, so different to all the other ones because I just decided that fear will never stop me from living a happy, beautiful life and relationship. And so, you know, I face my fears to actually tell what's on my mind and just to face my fears and to actually trust and to, you know, like all those things. And because of that, we just have the most respectful and, yeah, respectful relationship. And therefore we cherish each other so much and we love each other so much. We haven't experienced ever. So that's why I'm just sharing the story, because a lot of us, we just sabotage each other. Like either we are dating and we find every flaw we can find in another person just to, because this is like just another way of saying, oh my God, I rather stay safe and alone than being hurt, you know, or we get into relationships and then it gets real and deep and we're like, oh my God, you know, I rather run away because this is too much. I cannot handle it. I'm afraid that he's gonna leave me. I'm afraid that he's gonna hurt me. And so because,
it's funny, isn't it? Because like I'd say probably a lot of people don't actually realize that it's fear, that's what's holding them back. They just, like you said, it's like they find some kind of flaw with that person as to the why, you know, this is not going to work. And, you know, so that's the reason rather than it's their own inner fear from it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes it's just not the right person, right? But some people, they just look for this perfect human being and they find stuff in any person. And if that happens over a period of years, then, you know, you should start and think about whether it's maybe just fear that you might be hurt or rejected or left or whatever, because, yeah, this is just a pattern of protecting oneself. So,
Yeah. So, you know, what does a love coach actually do? Tell us how you can help someone. For instance, you know, they're in a relationship and they think that this could be the relationship, but actually that fear may be holding them back from, you know, this relationship blossoming even more because they're thinking all these kind of things about this person. So what would you do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the one hand, you can be in a relationship, you have to feeling this is not the right kind of relationship for you, but you are afraid to leave your path, afraid of judgment, you're afraid of making the wrong decision, and it's the 2 hours, and it's not coaching, it's more approach. So what it does, it out of your head and heart, and then you will be able to see and feel what the right choice. So at the end, 100% certainty, clarity what to do, and this is magnificent.
Oh, what's happened? Hello, Eugenie.
Are you still there?
You just disappeared for a minute.
No.
I was like, okay, I'm here on my own. No, it's okay.
We're back on track. All right.
Go back to what you were saying. So basically, you were saying how you work with someone around that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a clarity session.
Exactly. In this clarity session, what I do or what this process does is it's your head and into your body, and it leads you to your own truth, to what is the right choice for you. So it's not advice, it's not, you know, like talking things through. It's really, at the end, you will be able to see and feel what the right decision is. And funny enough, a lot of people, they come to me and they think they want to separate, but at the end they find out that they want to stay with their partners, because exactly like you said, it's this fear. So deep down, then there might be this fear that they're not enough, and because they think they're not enough, they think subconsciously that their partner, they will leave them because they're not enough. So this is the logical thing to do, right? And so they rather sabotage the relationship, and they rather look for an exit themselves to not experience the pain. And this is so interesting to me. And yeah. So on the other hand, I have different programs and just one-on-one coaching sessions where for people in relationships who love each other and they don't want to leave, but at the same time they lost their passion, they lost this joy, they lost the playfulness, and it's all about getting back to this feeling what they had in the first, few weeks, and they were like so madly in love. So yeah, I love it. It's great.
Yeah. So have you come across any people that actually they feel that the other person is really in love with them, they're in love with the person, but they feel like the person's kind of direction is not the same direction as they're going in? For instance, that person may not be working and the person's working and they're going in different directions. Have you ever come across that at all?
Yeah, I just I think there was just a bad connection. Yeah. Could you repeat the last sentence?
Okay. Right. So they're with someone, the person loves them, they love the person, but they kind of think that that's not the right person because that person's not going in the same direction as them. They may be working and really got a big vision about what they want to do, and the other person's not really got a big vision. They're kind of just happy to just go along, let life take them wherever they decide to go.
Yeah, 100%. Yes. So is your question around what you do in the situation, or? Yeah. So I think there's no right or wrong answer to it. And so there's a different answer for every person. But in general, I think it's incredibly important that you are on the same page and that you go into a similar direction, not maybe in the same direction, but in the similar direction, and that you are on the same page value-wise. So otherwise it will be a struggle. Otherwise, at some point, like in the beginning, you'll be like, oh, whatever, you have passion, you have all those things, but at some point it will go away, and then you will be left with nothing, with no base. And so my personal experience and my personal opinion is that it is incredibly important that you're on the same page, that you have a similar direction, similar vision. But it means, to me, it's more important that you have similar values and similar mindset and similar outlook, because you can still have a certain direction, certain goals, but you can inspire your partner to go with you in this direction, right? You can inspire your partner to grow. You can inspire your partner to do certain things. But if your partner is absolutely not on the same page, does not value growth, does not value, to pursue new things and to experience new stuff, then it's hard.
Definitely, for sure. That's interesting. So do you work with the couple, or do you work singly? Do you work, or do both?
Yeah. I do both, but most of the times, 90%, I work with a single person, because sometimes, usually, it takes only one person, and if you change, even something, everything around you changes. Yeah.
Okay, so did you say if you change, that the person will change as well? Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, I said, so usually if you change, or you change your perception, or you change a belief, or you change a meaning, and you change, therefore, then your behavior will change, and then your surrounding will change as well. That's like this domino effect. So it usually takes one person, but I work with couples as well, yes.
Okay, brilliant. And if, so for instance, what's the setup in terms of a first session? What would happen in that session? You know, give us an overview.
Yeah. So the first session would be a connection call where we just get to know each other, and we talk about what it is, what you want. So if you would have a genie lamp, what would you wish for? And then we talk about, okay, so what are the challenges, and what has to be done to get actually where you want to be, to get those genie wishes, right? To live the life that you want to live. So yeah. And then it depends on the person what they want. Like, is it this clarity session? Do they want to get certainty and clarity on whether they want to stay with this person or not? Or is it that they want to unleash their passion and joy and fulfillment and feel alive in the relationship? Then it's another program. Or is it a single person who wants to find a soulmate? You know, it's different for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And can, like, I'm assuming you do some face-to-face, and then do you do some Skype?
Yeah. Mostly I do
Zoom, or
mostly I do Zoom calls, because most of my clients are either in
right.
80% of us are all over the world, so I use Zoom. But if the clients are from Sydney, then I coach them face to face. So, and I love it. Yeah.
So you've got people all over the world then.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant.
It's easy nowadays, isn't it? It's so great that you connect to. I mean, we just talk to each other, right? And we just live like.
I know, exactly. You're the way in Australia, and I'm in London. So yeah, no, it's great that we can do this now. Do you know what I mean? So you get to meet so many different people all over the world. So it's amazing. So Eugenie, what final words have you got for our audience today?
Final words. The final words are that usually fear is just in the way of anything. It doesn't matter whether it's a relationship, if you date, or if you want to, grow your own business or whatever. It's usually fear, and the root of fear is usually self-doubt. So when we have the feeling that we are not enough, and I would just say, okay, we need to work on ourselves and our self-worth, and we need to appreciate ourselves, to be proud of ourselves. And then we have to transform this belief around our identity, that we are worthy of love, that we are worthy of whatever we want to have. From the fear into fuel, and I think these are my last words. Yeah, let's work on our self-worth and just be proud of each other, and be happy.
Brilliant. Exactly. We only live once, as far as we know. So Eugenie, have you got any freebies or anything that our audience can into?
Actually I do. I have a 3-step process which is called I Wanna Be Free. So if you, whoever is watching, wants to let go of any negative emotions or fear or anything that drains your energy out of your body, I have like a very simple 3-step process that will free you from this emotion, and you can just take your life back and feel alive and free and fulfilled again. So if you want, I can just drop it below the video, and it's for free to download.
Brilliant.
And
great, yes, definitely. And Where can people find you?
Oh, so obvious ways nowadays are Instagram or Facebook or my website, or just give me a call. I can drop the Zoom link as well at just a connection call where we can just have a chat. And yeah.
So let us know your website and your Instagram tags so that people can know, because obviously it'll be on podcast as well.
Awesome. Cool. I would love to connect. Yay.
Oh, what's your, Eugenie? Tell us your website.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you say it again, because you broke up there again?
Yeah. So it's basically my name. So it's eugeniawolstein.com.
Brilliant. And your Instagram, is it your name as well?
Yep, it's my name as well. Easy.
Brilliant. Great. So thank you, Eugenie. It's been really interesting, you know, talking to you all the way in Australia. And yeah, great.
Thank
Even though
you.
we had technical issues, we got on.
Yeah,
so great. Thank you so much for coming on. And I will speak to you soon. So guys, that was a brilliant discussion with Eugenie about the fear that you can get when you're thinking about a relationship, or you're in a relationship, or you're trying to find love. So guys, make sure that you connect with Eugenie and find out how you can push forward and move forward. So take care.
That's right. Thank you.